Exclusive interview of the day. Rama Rao, Telangana's IT minister, believes that the government's demonetisation decision was a necessary evil. Talking exclusively to my colleague Nithya Balakrishnan in a special interview, KTR, as he is fondly known as, said that though the government's demonetisation move will improve the tax bracket, he was apprehensive about whether it would put a curb on black money.
By and large, everybody understands that this has been a huge challenge. It has been a huge, inconvenience. But at the same time, I think the common man of this country understands, and the common man of this country also believes that there is definitely a gain beyond the pain.
What about in the long term when you do talk about black money and corruption, which are the two ultimate goals of the Prime Minister?
Well, I'll tell you two things though. I mean, my firm belief is that in a country where only 1% or less than 1% pay income tax, which I think is absolutely absurd, I think this will definitely improve upon our accountability, our transparency, our way of doing business. It will certainly improve the revenues of Government of India. It will also improve the way we do business as a state. And so therefore I think in the overall scheme of things, this definitely is something that is going to help the country. Now the second aspect of it though is regarding unaccounted for money or black money, as people have been calling it. I have my own reservations, I have my own doubts, but at the same time I do believe that a lot more people would be brought under tax net, and therefore the revenues would improve, and therefore more access, more money and more capital to infuse into infrastructure, to infuse into the basics that India so badly requires.
Cashless economy, is that really something that India should be targeting now? Is that the need of the hour?
India can only be a less cash economy. It can never be a cashless economy. I don't think any country in the world can be completely cashless. Well, like I said, in a country where you have 130 crore people, only 1% of them paying any kind of income tax or being above 2.5 lakh of annual income is incredulous. I mean, it would make you think twice as to where we are headed. And in a country where I think there are huge disparities as is, unless the government of India and unless state governments put a concerted effort to actually correct it, I think we'll lead. I mean, we are watching so many civilian crises across the world, and we don't want to end up there. So I think this was much needed. Are
we still on board when you talk about a rollout of GST on April 1, or should the impact of demonetisation be realized just a little while longer?
I think it's a fair start. I mean, you've had a series of reforms come in. I think it began with GST, and then there was the income disclosure scheme, and then came demonetisation. So it wasn't as if opportunities were not given. I think states have been given enough time to prepare, even for GST. Homogeneity in terms of tax structure, I think, and also overall reform-oriented approach in the country across different states, I think is a great move. And I think we should be on course for GST as well. April 2017, I think, should bring with it.
All right.